Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. You can use code MollyBurke to get 10% off your purchase of a website or domain name. The blue backdrop is out, the headphones are on, the laptop is here, which means it is time for another reaction video. And I couldn't be more excited because this one in particular is one I've been wanting to do for like at least 5 years. You see it in the title. I am reacting to blind representation in mainstream media. And if there is one thing I have complained about constantly on this channel for the last decade, it is how mainstream media has done us wrong. They have done us dirty. I feel like half the videos I made for the first 5 years of my channel were simply trying to dispel all the myths that mainstream media created about blindness. Because I was just constantly getting the like, she's not blind because she's not wearing dark sunglasses. She's looking in the camera, her eyes are blue, blah, blah, blah. She's blinking. And all of that came from people watching movies like maybe some of the ones we're gonna react to today. And I have not seen 2 out of the 3 of these, and I haven't seen one of them since I was like 14 years old. So the first one I am choosing to react to in this video is a scene that my boyfriend has selected from the movie Daredevil. Every blind person knows this is a reference we constantly get. My whole life, whenever I'd be like, oh, I'm blind, people would, especially if I mentioned that I can use echolocation, like, oh my God, like Daredevil, can you see in the rain? And I literally still don't understand what that even means. Like, I'm like, what do you mean, can I see in the rain? Like, is this superhero supposed to see in the rain? Like, it rains and he can see it suddenly? Like, I don't understand. And also, I feel like most people watch superhero movies and are like, that's fiction. So I don't understand why, because there's a blind superhero, people have suddenly blurred the line of fiction and reality. But I think that shows the problem, how problematic it is when we have such little amount of representation. But now, here we are. Let's go.
So I'll give a little bit of AD for what we're seeing. So they're on like a rooftop, I think, and this is the guy who plays Daredevil and then the love interest, Jennifer Garner, and they're at night on a rooftop. And I'll hit play.
Wait.
Oh, okay.
I have a question already.
Okay.
Because there's no actual AD for this, can you tell me, like, what does his character look like? Like, does he wear dark sunglasses? Do his eyes look normal? Does he carry a white cane?
Perfect, yeah. So his character wears dark sunglasses, like, all the time.
Classic.
And we won't be reacting to other scenes from this movie, but I do remember he does kind of do the classic trope of, like, kind of looking up and off, right?
Wait,
Even with the sunglasses, it's kind of like his head is usually turned a little bit up and away.
Okay.
Just slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
It's hard because are there blind people who do that? Yes, there are. Do most of us? No, not necessarily. And I think why so many of us have gotten frustrated is just like, it was always like the same handful of characteristics that some blind people have were selected and used over and over and over again. And therefore it became this idea that all blind people were like that because the only ones depicted were. Some blind people, especially if they've been blind from birth, don't necessarily like hold their head in the same positioning that the average sighted person would, or somebody like me who lost my vision progressively would. Those are traits of blindness for some people, but not for all of us. So when it's always depicted that that's the way blindness is, it makes people question people like me who visually present the way I do, question the validity of my blindness. And that's what's frustrating. And so it's frustrating that so many sighted actors feel like they can't just behave, quote, normally. They have to tweak everything about themselves to embody some idea of blindness.
So something about his character as well, that is along what you were just saying, is that the character of Daredevil, in this movie at least, lost his eyesight when he was like a young teenager. So he was completely sighted, no problems with his vision. There was an accident. I think it was something like acid or something spilled on his eyes or something like that.
That actually frustrates me more then.
Right.
So that frustrates me even more because for most of us who go blind progressively, those aren't traits we develop. Most of the characteristics I mentioned are typically come in conjunction with being fully blind from birth. So it's almost even more annoying. We've already talked enough and I haven't even watched it. So just hit play so I can shut up and we'll get through this.
Okay, the clip is only like a minute long. All right.
I'm holding my breath.
Oh, wait, just wait. Wait. It's about to rain.
No, it's not.
It is. I'm telling you. I mean, the temperature dropped 2 or 3 degrees. I can smell it. The moisture in the air. It's going to rain any second now. And when it rains, it's like there's a rooftop on the world. Each raindrop makes a sound the first time it falls on a surface. Just then, it's like I can see again. And I just want to see you.
Okay.
Here it comes.
So I'll pause it there so I can describe to you what's happening, because you were saying you don't even understand what it means to see because it's raining.
Mm-hmm.
So like all the little raindrops are bouncing off her face, and he can, for some reason, his eyes and his ears are connected, so they're showing what he sees, and he sees like tiny little points of light for every little raindrop. So it's creating like a picture of her face because the rain is hitting her face.
Oh my God, that's insane. Okay, first off, so dramatic. It's giving like 90s cheesy romance. And I know it's not a romance movie, but like this scene is, and that's what it's giving. It's so funny, it's so cheesy. Stop, wait, the rain is coming, I smell it. Like, I wanna see you. It's just very dramatic. I mean, fair, like I think sighted people can smell rain too, no? Like, there's definitely like a feeling when rain is coming.
But he knew it to the second.
Yeah, like that's like very dramatic. I always thought when people would ask me that, like, can you see when it rains? Like I said, I use echolocation. There's passive echolocation and active echolocation. Active echolocation being when you create a sound. So you snap, you click, you use a clicker or something like that. And it creates sound that bounces off of objects around you and creates sound waves that you can hear. I use passive echolocation, which I was trained in by my O&M instructor from the time I was very young, like I want to say around 8 years old, where I use the existing sound waves that are already happening by virtue of life, and I use those to help me navigate spaces. When it rains, sound waves change. So when it rains, echolocation is very different. The sound of the cars is louder. In some ways, I find rain helps amplify noises and can make it a lot easier to hear. And then other times, depending on the situation, I'll find that it can actually make it a bit more disorienting for me personally. I always thought like that was kind of what people were referencing, that like his character, when it rains, his like echolocation increases so much and he's able to like really pinpoint space and shapes and movement greater because of the difference of increased echo that rain creates. I didn't realize like it actually is that he sees pinpoints of light from rain. Like there's no world in which that makes sense, and it makes me laugh even harder at how many people my entire life have asked me if this is true, because that's so unhinged.
Agreed.
Continue.
Well, I'll play the next couple seconds. And here, even though he's seeing her now, he's still portraying it in his performance as like looking off into the side.
Wait. Okay, so he's claiming that he can now see her.
So he's seeing her with his ears, But if he knows exactly where she's coming from, wouldn't his eyes be?
Yes, wouldn't he turn to look? Because also, like I said, the reason many people like myself who have no functional vision for seeing still turn, like when somebody walks in a room, I turn and I look, not because I'm trying to see who walked into the room, but because I'm facing my ears directionally to the sound, which increases how easy it is for me to hear that sound. Many of us look down at our phones when we're texting using a screen reader because we're listening to our phone and it's directionally picking up that noise versus kind of picking up all the noise and trying to hear our phone. So it's even more unrealistic that if he's seeing through his ears in the rain, that he wouldn't turn his ears to face her. Okay, you guys are gonna have to let me know if you want me to like do individual videos. Well, first off, you have to comment and let me know other movies, TV shows you want to see me react to, even if they're not blindness, like just disabled characters in general, whether they're good or bad, like just give me suggestions of what you want us to react to. But also, let me know if you want me to do like episodes where I watch the whole movie through and like one video is just dedicated to reacting to one whole movie. Before I jump into reviewing the next clip, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Squarespace, who has been a longtime partner of this channel and also the platform that I've been using for even longer to host my website, mollyburkeofficial.com. Squarespace is your one-stop shop to build a beautiful online presence for your brand and expand your business. Squarespace has always made it easy for the average person to build a website that is bespoke to them and their business, their brand identity. But now it's easier than ever with design intelligence, which combines AI with 2 decades of industry experience to help make the most perfect, beautiful website for you. Basically, for me, like I plugged and played, I was able to, this is years ago before design intelligence existed, I picked one of their templates and then I made it my own and made it look unique to me. But now, because of this AI tool, it's easier than ever and it makes it look even more unique for you. And once your website is looking right and you're ready to launch, they make it easy for you to sell content, whether that be a blog, online courses, video content, or a membership. You can put it behind a paywall and then you can choose to either set a recurring fee or a one-time fee so that you can sell your content and have recurring income. And of course, you can sell physical products as well. And when you're ready for your clients to pay, which we all need to be paid for the work that we do, they make it easy and simple, just a few clicks to onboard, and then it is so simple for your audience or your community to pay you for your goods. And they make it so easy for your customers to pay with so many different options, whether it be ClearPay, direct deposit, Klarna, Afterpay, and others. And don't forget, you can use code MollyBurke to get 10% off your purchase of a website or domain name at squarespace.com/MollyBurke. Now, back to the reacting. The next movie we are going to react to is, what is it called?
Scent of a Woman.
Scent of a Woman. This is one you've also seen, right?
No.
Oh, you haven't? Okay. I honestly don't think I've ever even heard of this one. And it's Al Pacino?
Yeah. It was Al Pacino's first Academy Award for acting.
We love a sighted man winning an award for playing a blind man. Apparently, there's this article you found, right?
Right. I still have it here. Would you like me to pull it up?
I would.
Okay.
I'd like to hear some of this.
Do you want me to read some of it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me find kind of... All right, so here, this is Wikipedia. There's a little category that says research. Pacino painstakingly researched his part in Scent of a Woman. To understand what it feels like to be blind, he met clients of New York's Associated Blind, being particularly interested in accounts by those who had lost their sight due to trauma. Clients traced the entire progression for him, from the moment when they knew they would never see again to the depression and through to acceptance and adjustment. The Lighthouse, an advocacy group for the blind also in New York, schooled him in techniques that a vision-impaired person might use to find a chair and seat themselves, pour liquid from a bottle, and light a cigar.
Well, I'm glad that he did seek out real-life experiences, and I'm glad that he did seek out resources like life skills teaching, life skills teachers for the blind. Blind people do go through that. Like I took life skills classes specifically for learning how to do things as a blind person throughout my vision loss journey. I will say my first major audition was when I was 21 years old. And it was for a television series where I would play a young blind female, obviously, who had progressively lost their vision. I was sitting in the audition room for my first audition. There's a bunch of us gals sitting around, and then one of the other girls is sitting there and she's not blind, and she ends up like starting to ask us questions like she's studying for her audition. And the mom of the blind actress asks her, so can I ask, like, how have you been practicing for this audition? Like, do you have a plan as to how you're going to try to play a blind character if you're sighted? And the girl was like, oh yeah, I'm just planning to like look up and off, just like you were talking about with Daredevil. So I'm doing it right now for those who can't see me, like look up and off with my eyes and act like I'm looking through things instead of at them. Anyways, I remember doing my audition, and then I didn't get the role, but a sighted actress did, who had already played against the main character in the show in another show, so like industry nepotism. We love to see it. Let's watch this clip.
Okay, so a little bit of context. So the main character lost his vision, I believe, in war. He's an ex-military soldier, and so now he's in his later years in life. He's older, and his family or something hired a college student to be his caretaker. So, and he's also going through kind of depression and suicidal ideation and that kind of thing. To kind of cheer him up, the college student brought him to a Ferrari dealership so they could test drive a Ferrari, but now he wants to drive the Ferrari and the college student is sitting in the passenger seat.
Damn.
So that's what's happening, and we'll hit play.
Is that rain?
That is the car driving slowly.
Ah.
Straight. Hold it right like that. You feel it? Yeah. That's straight. Straight. Just keep it straight.
Shocked at how hard it is to do anything in a straight line when you can't see.
Keep it straight, Charlie. You gotta move a little bit. Feel
Colonel,
the road.
Please, just like this, all right? There you go. Take it nice and easy. You like this? Slow it down a little, Colonel. Go a little fast. Colonel, slow it down.
Something's happened to my foot.
Colonel, slow it down, please.
Hold on, Charlie. I think we got another gear here.
Colonel Slade!
Watch out!
He's killed!
Don't blame me, Charlie. I can't see.
Colonel, slow it down!
Can you pause for a second? Are they just going in a straight line this whole time, or is he turning?
So right now he's just going in a straight line down an empty back road, and it's New York, so all the roads are like 90 degrees from each other, so it's just a perfectly straight road, and there's no other cars.
Yeah, going in a straight line when you can't see is very difficult. Like, I remember even as a kid, I couldn't draw or cut in a straight line, especially because my eyes shake. So nothing was ever straight for me because everything would shake. So even though it felt like I was going straight, it was always wavy. So even just walking in a straight line when you're blind can be really difficult, and it's something a lot of us have to work on in our orientation and mobility lessons. It's a big reason a lot of people like getting a guide dog, because guide dogs walk in the straight line for you, so you don't really have to deal with it. So I would be intrigued to... I mean, I don't know that a blind person who's never like driven would be able to drive really fast in a straight line, but maybe.
I think he had driven when he was younger
Mm.
because he lost his vision
Right.
later in life, but I do think, yeah, it's super highly
Unrealistic.
unrealistic.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Now let's see how this baby corners.
Corners?
Oh.
Yeah. Say when.
Say when what?
Say when to turn.
Colonel, you can't turn the car.
Where's the turn, Charlie? 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, right oblique, right face. Come on, talk to me.
It's left, I guess.
Left, I knew it. Okay, now?
No, not now, not now.
Now!
Colonel, please, can we...
Charlie, I'm gonna do it anyway, all right? Whether you say so or not, here we go.
Okay, wait. Just wait.
Here I go.
Wait.
Here I go.
Wait. Now!
Look at that! Oh, Charlie! Whoa! You're riding with one very happy man!
Colonel, you gotta turn again.
Be specific, sir.
Pause.
Left.
So, as many of you know, I have driven a car. I've driven a car in this old video years ago, and I've driven a car many other times. I think I drove for the first time when I was like 16 or 17, and it was just like a high school friend's car. I had a couple high school friends let me drive their car. I had some friends in my 20s let me drive their car. You have yet to let me drive your car.
Not gonna happen.
Rude. But yeah, I've driven many times. Like, I want to say I've probably driven 8 times. I feel like when you ask almost any blind person, like, in the top 3 hardest parts about being blind is not being able to drive. It's just like very frustrating, that lack of freedom and independence and autonomy is just really challenging. And it's also just like such a milestone moment for a lot of people. And there's blind people who progressively go blind who could once drive and have to let it go at some point, and I can only imagine how incredibly difficult that is. And so I do think that, like, bringing a blind person to an empty parking lot, you're able to, like, slowly, like, I never went fast, and I was always too scared to. Like, I was, like, crawling, and I was like, how fast am I? Like, believe me, I was, like, excited and scared. It was, like, this, like, rush of excitement and adrenaline, like, oh my God, I'm doing it, but also, like, so filled with fear of, like, this is the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. This is a deadly weapon at this point. I can understand, like, the excitement and the exhilaration in his voice in this, when he's starting to turn and he's, like, clearly celebrating and excited and getting a rush. I get that feeling, but also this is obviously, like, super unsafe. Also, what does he look like? Is he wearing sunglasses?
He's not wearing sunglasses.
Okay.
And I haven't seen the whole movie, so I can't speak entirely on his performance. It seems like it was pretty good. The rest of the scene, a cop pulls them over.
Okay.
And he talks to the cop. And so I want you to react to that. And I might give a little bit of audio description live while it's playing.
Okay.
If you can hear me. If not.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So they're just parking the car on the side of the road.
How would he have pulled over to park it on the side of the road?
I agree.
I'll do the talking.
License and registration.
So the college student hands it to him, hands it to the cop.
What are you, test driving this baby?
Don't she purr, though?
At 70 miles an hour?
You should hear her at 125.
Where's your license?
At the dealers. They give it back to you when you return the car.
You got ID?
You bet. Indeed.
Al Pacino is kind of sometimes looking up towards the direction of the cop,
Lieutenant Colonel Slade.
and
And you,
sometimes just looking down or off.
Name is Police Officer Gore.
Doing a hell of a job, Gore.
Oh, and so are you, Colonel. Who's the kid?
My boy Charlie. Kept telling me to let her out, let her out. What was I gonna do? Disappoint him?
Yes. Tell you what I'm gonna do, Colonel. I'm gonna let you go. On one condition.
What's that?
That you take this rig straight back to the dealer.
You got it.
So,
Shut
I'll
up.
pause it. The cop is starting to hand the papers back to Al Pacino,
And he's not reaching.
and he's not reaching. He's not grabbing it. So that
Yeah.
was like a nice detail.
Yeah. Because that's accurate. Like, people all the time try to hold things out to me, and I just, like, completely ignore it. It's so funny. There's times when I feel so awkward, like I have to be perfect, and I feel so anxious about like, am I looking in the right space? Like somebody say like a cop, if a cop started talking to me, I would feel particularly anxious, like I need to be looking at them, or they will like jump to conclusions about me. Because there's so many stories of disabled people getting like arrested or having really negative experiences with cops and security guards who don't give them time to express their disability and their needs and why they might not be responding the way a non-disabled person would respond. I almost wasn't allowed into a nightclub when I was younger because they thought I was too drunk to get in, when really I just couldn't see what they were asking me to do because they were doing things with their body language and not vocalizing it to me. And so then my friends were having to help me and they were like, she's too drunk to get in. And I was like, no, I'm just blind. And then I've had another really miserable experience. I think I made a story time about it years ago at an airport going through TSA where a security guard made me cry because she just kept speaking over me and not giving me a chance to explain to her that like I can't see what you're asking me to do. And it just made me like so anxious and I just totally shut down. And yeah, like things like cops and stuff is just an experience as a blind person where even though me being able to be like, I'm blind is like a very valid, legitimate thing, I also know that I get questioned about my disability so much that it's like, what if I'm in that situation and they don't believe me, you know? So.
Totally.
Anyways.
Really scary.
Oh, wait, I have one more question about his eyes.
Okay.
Did they have him wear any like contacts that make his eyes like gray or foggy or anything?
No, just completely normal.
Okay, that's good. I do like that. That's good. Because a lot of times they'll make them wear contacts that distort the visual of the eye. Okay, now this one is a Family Guy clip. And I remember seeing this years ago. I grew up loving Family Guy. And so I did watch this. I cannot remember it very well, so I'm excited to react to this. This is obviously a very different situation, but it's an iconic show, and it's definitely a scene that people have brought up to me, so let's watch. Is it Brian on the date?
Yes.
Okay.
So one thing that's cool that I want to point out right off the bat is, so they're coming into a movie theater and sitting down at the front row, and then she's using her cane, and when she sits down, she folds her cane up the way you probably should and like puts it behind her. So I thought that was really cool, and I wanted to point that out.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would do when I sat down. And if I had my cane with me, I'd immediately fold it, and like put it on the seat next to me or behind me. Accurate.
Listen, you know, we can do something else if you want.
Why? I'm having a good time.
Well, I mean, I just don't know how much fun it is for a blind person to go to the movies.
Brian, blind people go to the movies all the time. We just listen. I might be blind, but my brain has been trained to listen to any movie and know exactly what's happening on screen. Like, I love Titanic. I'm the king of the world!
Okay, so I need to pause it to describe this to you. I laughed so hard when I watched this. The visual of it is like this king who's in space and he's sitting on a miniature Earth.
Oh my God, that's funny.
And there's all these planets and like aliens floating in space around him.
Stop.
So, yeah, it's that she's hearing it but not picking up the visuals.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's really funny.
So now they're walking home after the date.
So, you sure you don't need me to come in? Maybe show you to your bed?
Pretty sure I can find it. Thanks. Maybe next time I'll have trouble, though. You might have to help me find it next time.
So there's a next time.
Definitely.
Great. Well, all right, good night.
Ugh, our stupid
He goes
neighbor's
in for a
dog barks
kiss.
24/7. God, I hate dogs.
You do?
Yeah, they're just slobbery, annoying, needy little... I'm just not really a dog person, I guess.
Oh, yeah, me neither.
Oh my God. This is actually a totally different scene. I've never seen this.
Oh, great.
This is a totally different scene than the one I saw. Oh my God, that's so funny.
She doesn't know he's a dog.
That is incredible. Okay, for those who are also blind and have never seen Family Guy, Brian is a dog. So she's literally on a date with a dog when she's saying she doesn't like dogs. That is so funny. Is that the whole scene?
Nope, it keeps going.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm loving this.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Dog people can get pretty annoying.
So now they're at a park having a picnic.
Gosh, this has been an amazing week, Brian. I still can't believe you beat up that guy who tried to mug us. That was a great dinner.
Yeah, I really like that salmon you recommended. Yes, may I help you, gentlemen? Hey, you're in a tough part of town. Now give me your
So
purse,
now Brian
dollface.
is pretending
hey, you
to
get
be
your hands off that. I don't care how
the
many of you
muggers.
there are. You're not taking this
Wait,
purse.
pause.
How the hell we on?
Brian is...
So Brian is pretending to be the muggers in this scene. So he's staging this whole fake fight.
Oh my God, so there's no muggers. It's just all him
Yeah.
pulling voices?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Let's get him, boys.
Brian?
Stay right there, Kate. I'll handle this. Yeah, you like that, huh? This guy's tough. No fair. He knows karate. Usually handsome guys ain't so good with their fists. And stay away from my girlfriend.
Brian, I know karate too. I can help you.
You stay out of this, lady.
I got one. I think I got one.
Did she just kick Brian?
I got the
Yeah.
other four. They're gone now. They're gone. Well, they took the gift I had for you, but at least you're okay.
And that trip to the Eiffel Tower was just amazing.
Okay,
Are we
so
almost-
now in this scene, in their front yard, he's set up like a Stairmaster type escalator type thing to make it feel like for her that she's walking up the Eiffel Tower, and there's a fan blowing wind.
Oh my God, this is so funny.
It's at the top.
Yep, just a few more steps. There we are. Ah, the winds of Paris. Isn't that what they say?
Oh, that breeze is gorgeous. And I think I smell croissants?
Do you? You have an amazing sense of smell. Oh, there it is.
There's what?
Oh, nothing, just the Goodyear blimp. It says, I love you, Kate, all in lights.
Here? In Paris?
Yeah, it's here for Wimbledon or something.
Oh my God, that's the most romantic thing anybody's ever done for me.
Well, get used to it. You're going to be hearing a lot of things I've done for you.
Okay, I've not seen any of that actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that
Cool.
is totally different than what I ever saw. Okay. I think it's funny. And the reason I wanted to include a clip from Family Guy, even if it was a different clip I was thinking of, is because I want to make it so clear that I'm not trying to be like, everything has to be realistic. And like, obviously, no blind person would fall for you putting them on an elliptical or whatever
Yeah.
they're called in your living room and blasting a fan and believe they're walking up to the Eiffel Tower. Like, all of this is so unhinged and unrealistic. And that's Family Guy. That fits the show. It's a comedic show. Everything's over the top. Nothing makes sense. It's a talking dog and a talking baby, for God's sakes. Like, it's not meant to be reality. And so I don't think to myself, people are going to think that this is real. I have a problem when TV shows and movies are depicting everything else realistically and then not depicting blindness realistically. I am somebody who loves comedy. I love stand-up comedy. Honestly, like, doing stand-up is something I'd love to do one day in my career. I grew up with family who copes via humor. I love stuff like that, and I don't want to take life too seriously. I don't want to be policing comedy. I mean, I like that there is some parts that are accurate, right? Like the cane and like her saying, no, blind people do go to movies. But obviously then, like, that's such a funny cutscene to her being like, yeah, I can just figure out what's going on by listening. And then it's like totally wrong. I don't know. I think all of that's really funny.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to be able to laugh at ourselves. If I create this rule that nobody can laugh about blindness around me, then I'm actually only furthering how different I am. Because we're able to make fun of you for XYZ and we laugh at your XYZ, but my thing is off limits because it's not funny. That was a huge coping mechanism for me when I was younger. I would always be the first one to make the blind jokes whenever I was around new people to make sure they understood, hey, I'm comfortable with my blindness. So you don't need to be uncomfortable because I'm comfortable. And I always say we teach people how to treat us. So if I'm acting insecure about my blindness, if I'm acting like it's a big deal, that is how people will perceive it. But if I walk in that room with confidence and I own my blindness and I ask for what I need when I need it, and I do not act like it's a big deal, I just act like it is a piece of what makes me me, that is how people will perceive it and how they will treat me about it. So yeah, I wanted to throw this one in because I'm not a stickler that everything has to be accurate. It just has to be done in the right way at the right time when it makes sense. And I don't know, very curious to hear people's reactions to that last one because I'm all for it. So thanks for hanging out with me for our third reaction video. Many more to come in 2025. Wow, can you believe it's almost 2025? Crazy. If you haven't seen my first two reaction videos, they were reacting to social media clips. We've got this one reacting to the goodest guide dogs being the goodest guide dogs, and we've got this one reacting to Karens denying service dogs access. So check those two videos out, and I will see you next time. Bye.